flowing through our veins. Sitting in the bleachers in the rain. We've shed a million tears and drank as many old style beers out at the game. Let's go, Cubbies, on Ranto, and the lovable losers. Son Ranto, and the lovable losers. Son Ranto.
Welcome to the second half of the 2026 Cubs baseball season. It's weird because we're starting at such an odd time right now for us. It's 2:08 Central Time on a Friday, which we should be watching a baseball game at 1:20 at Wrigley Field. But instead, those jokers put it at 7 o'clock tonight. So here we sit, Michael, me and you, talking Cubs. Second half Cubbies.
Yeah, and it was super confusing earlier today, too, because you were like, hey, could we possibly do 11? And I'm like, yeah, that works. We'll go pregame. And you're like, the game's going to be at 7. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
What kind of travesty is this? And it really is a tragedy, especially when you're known for 120 starts on a Friday and you're the only team that does it, and then they screw it. So anyway, Artie Boucher's here. He's saying hashtag chance in the chat. So welcome, Artie. So far, you're the only one that says hashtag chance on the chat. So it looks like you're winning the chance today, buddy.
Yeah.
He usually wins.
He also says it's almost 1:20 his time. So in Colorado, you're getting 1:20, I guess 1:20 Son Ranto.
Cubs talk.
Yeah.
And this show is brought to you by all of our Patreon supporters who support us. I started talking and I got something in my throat. Patreon.com/Bleacher Bunch. There are 89 of you and you all freaking rock. Also in the clutch shirts, Matt Kammer's permanent paintings, Fanarchy, and Penguin Imprints, all awesome sponsors of ours. And I just want to point something out about another sponsor of ours, which is Obvious Shirts, because Obvious Shirts sponsors everybody. They really are the whorish. They're the whoriest of t-shirt companies, because just like they'll just let anybody be a sponsor at this point. But anyway, Joe is a genius. We do have the John Baker Day Obvious shirt for sale. They are a sponsor. Check that sucker out. It's a parody of the Game 7 Wrigley Field scoreboard shirt. All 16 innings there. It's Wrigley Field scoreboard glory. Count them up.
I wouldn't even call it a parody. This is just honoring the John Baker game from 2014. It was really the only game that actually there's two games I remember from 2014. It was this one and the Labor Day Massacre, but that was it.
The Labor Day Massacre.
Yeah, that was when the Cubs absolutely destroyed the Cardinals on Labor Day. But no, when you go to Obvious Shirts, so I literally just bought this shirt today, Danny. When you go to Obvious Shirts, you have to search for John Baker. If you just go to like the Son Ranto collection, it's not there. And I didn't have time to just like bounce around through everything. So I searched John Baker and this came up.
Cool. And that's one way to find it. I also just dropped the link in the chat. You can just click on it right there and buy it. But you could also use code Ranter, but I think then we'd get the commission. And the way I think that Joe wants it to work is you could get $3 off. First of all, you get 10% off, which almost covers shipping if you use code Ranter. But Joe is going to give a donation. I'm going to give Joe a sponsorship package for Trapdoor Theater sponsoring my show, The Game, as a whole separate thing. So he's going to give money himself from Obvious Shirts to Trapdoor Theater based upon the number of shirts we sell. So you can use the code, or you could let Joe give the donation. You know what I mean? Because he'll take it out of his donation is what I'm saying.
Well,
if you use the 10% code.
I did use the 10% code. So You
right,
know,
but then I'll get $3,
that's
which is
$3
fine.
you'll never get from me, Danny. Never.
No, that's what I'm saying. That now the $3 goes to us, so I got to keep track of it. And I'd rather Joe keep track of it instead of just being like, "Where did this $3 come from?" And how come I got to pay taxes? That kind of thing. So, anyway, thanks to Joe. He loved making this shirt. He thought it was a great idea. I'm super excited about it. So pick one up, and yeah, that's all I got to say about that. We'll talk more about John Baker Day later.
It's honestly wild that he obviously did this for the Game 7, which makes sense. But it's wild that he hasn't thought about doing this for other games. I mean, you can do the Sandberg game. You can do a lot of different games that people would just dig having.
The Homer and the Glowman?
Homer and the Glowman?
What would be like, which one is that one?
24 Phillies game.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Except for that we lost.
Well, then maybe not. But
nobody's ever going to take the time to count up all those runs to even check if we lost or not. It'd be awkward. You're just pointing at the guy's chest, counting.
We could just do we could just make it like, oh, well, we won. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. At this point, I mean, I don't think the Phillies or the Cubs ended up doing anything that year, so it doesn't really matter.
It's been 40 years. Nobody knows.
So I got to talk about right away, because it's fresh in my mind, about being at the Lovable reunion last night. Let me ask you, have you been listening to this podcast at all?
I have listened to all of the podcasts, and I 100% have thoughts. I really do about the podcast. I think it's wonderful. It's awesome, but there are very interesting things that are popping up in it that I think in the off season, we should maybe revisit because then it'll all be done and we can sort of revisit it and talk about it a little bit.
It'd be fun. It would be to go Lovable reunion episode by Lovable reunion episode and talk about each one of them in depth, which would be, I know that we could probably do a longer Son Ranto episode than the Lovable reunion episode about that episode.
We absolutely could. I actually also had this idea, and I ran it by you, Danny, about doing a Lovable reunion for the fans, where I would host and just ask basically the same types of questions, but to fans. And I'm sort of looking into it, see what it would take. And I reached out actually to Corey Finneran this week just to see if the IVNV guys would be interested in being guests. And then, I also asked Corey if he might be interested because you're too busy. So I was like, maybe Corey would do it with me, but he's like, he's too busy too. So
yeah, that's in this economy, nobody could start 5 more podcasts.
Well, I might do another podcast. I don't think this one would be all that difficult other than the scheduling.
I think it's amazing that, I got that song 10 years ago like that. I'm certain everybody's thinking in the same direction. And last night's Lovable reunion was part of that direction because these guys live all over the country, if not the world right now. And for them to come back together at the Chicago Theater was just really sort of magical. It's like, here's a picture out front. Like I was excited and also breathing very heavily because of the smoke here in Chicago yesterday. I mean, it was really tough to breathe, but we were outside of Chicago Theater, which is just a gorgeous old theater. If you've ever had a chance to be in there, it's just amazing. I see the marquee Lovable reunion live tonight. I got excited and I saw all of our friends, Crawley was there. I went with Jarrett and my Thai guy and Rachel. I'm seeing everybody in there. It was like, outside. It's like seeing your friends at Pizza Hut outside of school. You know what I mean? Because we're all at the Chicago Theater together instead of Wrigley Field this time. It's what it felt like. And, just to see all the dudes, you got John Lester there, comes in a cowboy hat. I couldn't even see his face because it was covered with that shadow the entire time. But he plays a hard ass pretty much. He's like the big, strong, silent type, and he wants everybody to know. When we walked in, you'll never guess. So I'm just going to my row, and there's like a line for concessions where you can buy candy and a water or whatever. And standing in line, there's this giant man. And I was like, well, that guy looks like an athlete. And sure enough, I look up and all I see is teeth, because guess who it is in line for
John
candy?
Lackey.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm like, what's that guy doing in line? Like, doesn't he have like a backstage or a rider that gives him green M&Ms or something? No, he's just standing in line. So of course Crawley got a picture with him, because he's like, whoa, hold on. Because I mean, John Lackey's not an easy guy to get a picture with. Like, he doesn't show up to this shit, and here he is, and he doesn't know how to behave. He doesn't know he could even be backstage. He's just in line with the other freaking schlubs trying to get some freaking Skittles.
Well, was anybody even noticing him before you guys noticed him?
Well, I was so shocked. Like, I was just walking by to the aisle that I was like, hey, holy shit, that's John Lackey. And I didn't want to, I was in a flow of traffic, so I couldn't really like turn around. I mean, Crawley did, of course. Crawley turned right around. I was like, ah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Crawley. Oh, so Crawley just got the kind of flyby selfie. He didn't actually go up to him. Selfie. Okay, because I thought you were saying like he went up and talked to him and got a selfie, because then everybody would have noticed him. Right.
Yeah, it was the flyby selfie. And there were a couple surprises last night at the Lovable reunion, which was PCA was there, but he was in the audience and he got up and asked the question, just like, what was it like to bring a championship to Chicago, which they all had very thoughtful things to say about, of course.
That's totally like a Saturday Night Live where they plant the other cast members to ask the questions.
Yeah, exactly what it was. And, a couple things is, first of all, Joe Madden, his philosophy of baseball and of just putting together individuals and managing the people and letting them be who they are, knowing they're talented, like hates batting practice, do what you want, yourself better than anybody, if you look hot, wear it, respect 90, like all those things. Man, I miss that guy. He's a different breed. He got pushed out of the league because of stupid analytics, which are on crack right now. And I saw you put in the notes, about, I wanted to talk about maybe what Justin Verlander had talked about, which was that trying to exploit all the analytics of pitching makes guys very one-dimensional or two-dimensional, not three-dimensional. And Joe Madden is like a five-dimension guy who's, floating above it, understanding where dudes are at, and not just being like, oh, let me get an extra bit of spin rate, or let me get a little bit more break on that curveball. Those analytics can be helpful for that, but they're missing the forest for the trees. And Joe Madden understood that this is a game. We play it every day. We got a lot of pressure on us. We got to release the pressure. So it was just a joy to hear him talk.
So I take it you have not been listening to the Lovable Reunion podcast.
I listened to his episode, and I listened to the first two episodes because I miss Joe Madden so much. So no, I have not listened to every single episode.
A lot of that was in there. And we honestly talked a lot toward the end of his time with the Cubs about a lot of the changes and weird ways he was running things. And I honestly believe that after that 20, I guess it would have been, was 2018, the offense broke? Was that
it? Didn't break multiple times? No, 19 was the year the team fell apart and everybody legs fell off of their knees.
Yeah, but
2018 was offense broke, I think. Yeah,
but they won.
Continued to break from then on in.
Yeah, but they won 95 games, and then they said the offense broke, and it's like, no, they won 95 games. That's not an offense breaking situation. But I feel like sort of around that time, it was maybe that's when some of the stat holes were starting to make themselves a little more known in how some of this stuff was supposed to be running, because the team was it was a little bit different and we didn't quite understand why. And we were on the outside,
Well,
obviously.
Madden complained. He goes, the nerds are coming down here and they're handing me spreadsheets. And I'm like, no, get the hell out of here. That's what, and that happened where he went, which
that happened in LA with the Angels. But I think that was maybe not on quite the same level, but I think that was starting to happen in Chicago too. And it was, I don't know whether, and that's the worst
part. The game was
changing.
We were getting more. You could measure more things. The nerds got involved. The Harvard guys were like, "Oh, I'd like to get a job in baseball instead of at the bank." And then here we are. Like they're running their models, and we all got to live by the models. And Justin Verlander's like, that's really interesting. Joe Madden's like, that stuff is really interesting. But now let's take all this information and let's go play the goddamn baseball game with the talents and the muscles and the skills and how we feel today.
See, and that's the thing with Joe. Like, Joe was an innovator in this exact area with the numbers and with the stats and with all that stuff. Like, he was absolutely one of the first managers to really be pushing that stuff. But
the shift was his idea, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, he didn't let it
only, but
he didn't let it dictate everything he did, though. You know what I mean? Like, he took into account a lot of other things, and I feel like
they were playing clips.
I feel like that's what's getting lost now. They look at what Joe Madden did and they're like, yeah, he was using the numbers and he did great. But they're not looking at what Joe Madden did. They're looking at what the math nerds did. And
Joe
Madden
I was watching
the way that worked.
Game 7 of the World Series. They were playing a bunch of clips from it last night. I saw things that I have not seen for years. Lefties facing lefties late in the innings, righties facing righties. It was out of hand. I didn't know what I was looking at. I was like, is this how baseball used to be played? My God. I mean, and just even having Carl Edwards Jr. start the ninth and things like that.
Yep.
But I will say this about it. Like, there were a few things that, and I loved all Joe Madden's sayings and things like that. But one thing that he said that I had never heard before, which was one of his rules, which was to not lose your cool. Don't freak out on the team. If you have to freak out on them, like yell at them, don't do it at home in your own clubhouse. Do not poison that space. Do it on the road and do it after a win. And then go celebrate the win. And they celebrated all their wins too. And they learned, Joe said, we have to get in the mindset of how to win. We have to learn how to be winners. And I'm like, that's what's missing. It's like, not that the guys aren't trying to win. Of course they're trying to win, but you know what I mean? It's like, there was a philosophy to it before where there was a sort of like a wave that could carry the team through tougher times, where we are winners. You respect yourself as a winner, even if you lose, you're still winners, like kind of thing,
right. Yeah. When you listen to all of them, which I have, and like I said, there's a lot of it's not all just straight out on Front Street. Some of it's, sort of the reading between the lines. But one thing that is right out there for everything, and it almost feels like Anthony Rizzo and David Ross are screaming at the Cubs each episode, it's get your clubhouse in order. This is they aren't, obviously they don't.
Well, and Rizzo learned a lot. They talked about that last night. Rizzo was young and just kind of had to get screamed at by Lester a little bit, sort of moved along to become the leader on that team because he wasn't yet.
Right.
And younger guys were looking towards him. He was a few years into the league, but he was still like a big, immature, freaking St. Bernard puppy.
Right. And still sort of that way, even when he was a leader.
He's still like that on stage last night. He's just a big, dumb malook. Yeah. I freaking love that guy, though. What a nice man. He's a great performer, too. I'm so glad he's going to be on TV a bunch.
Yeah.
I
absolutely love him. And, it's just, like I said, every episode is just yet another way for them to say there's so much more than the data. And I don't know if Jed is listening to these podcasts or what. I doubt it, because if I were Jed, I would feel attacked every podcast, even though they have they rarely even mention his name.
You mean Twinkle D? Or is he Twinkle Dumb?
I don't know.
It's hard to know. We'll discuss that later, which one's Twinkle D and Twinkle Dumb, because we are going to do little bitch clock. Maybe we'll land on Twinkle D, Twinkle Dumb. But well, the funny thing is Jed was a part of all that. Like, Jed was the Carter of the situation. So
somebody asked about that in the Discord. I think maybe it was Terry asked about something within all these podcasts, and they're talking about Theo. Theo just did one, right? And they're talking about everything that happened. Like, they never mentioned Jed. Like, they almost never mention Jed. They mention Theo, but they don't talk about Jed at all. And whoever was in Discord, I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was. They were asking, like, where was Jed? What was he doing? Because
he was
nobody
there.
knows.
Right? He's in a lot of the pictures.
He was the GM. He was the GM, but like, he had no authority whatsoever. Everything was coming from Theo. Like, so
Theo was there last night.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I saw Jed. I mean, I was not sitting real close. And thank you, Richard, for giving me tickets. I didn't expect that I was going to go that morning. We were supposed to record this show last night. And that morning I get a Twitter message saying, "Hey, would you like to go to the show?" The guy, Richard, was stuck in Colorado. So he's like, couldn't make it in. So I got to go. Yeah, freaking, yeah. And Guy Series went with me, and he says, Richard rules. He does. So anyway, I freaking love Joe Madden. I know he's not coming back, but I wish he would, even just to listen. If Joe Madden is exactly, if you can make Joe Madden 2 Electric Boogaloo, that's who they should get. Ratface is not that. And it's just this is just this era of Cubs baseball. That was that era of Cubs baseball. That team was so magical. And part of it was, they had a lot of fun together. They obviously, you've heard all the shows, so they drank a lot. They freaking got shit faced on the regular. They were hungover at a lot of those games, which is hilarious. That's like an old school game. I don't think our team is like that now. I know.
No way.
Yeah, no way. Another couple things I didn't know before is that they watched Joel Osteen on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, that's
some lady next to me goes, like, out loud, goes, "I hope not." I was like, at least Cub fans are cool. Maybe they were making fun of it. I doubt it, though. There were probably religious guys on the team that liked watching it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's that stuff, and they did talk about that a little bit on a couple of the episodes, and I didn't get the idea that it was making fun of it. But I also don't get the idea that it was like really taking it super seriously either. It just happened to be something that they started doing because they did well someday that they were.
Osteen was on. Well, he's like the wealth gospel guy. Well, I remember one night, me and the band, we had taken psychedelics, and we had played at this place called the Rhinecliff Hotel. And we ended up this is a crazy story. I'll tell the whole story another time, but we ended up in Eric Roberts's cabin, which is Julia Roberts's brother. Now, he didn't know we were in his cabin, but we were in there, and we were all watching Robert Schuller. If you remember him, in the Crystal Cathedral of Garden Grove, California, at 5 a.m, we're watching Robert Schuller next to the Hudson River in Rhinecliff, New York. It was just a wild, wild night, but we watched it to make fun of it. That's my point. Like, we watched those religious shows and just laugh and laugh, especially on psychedelics. But I will say, freaking Jake Arrieta, he looks like Andrew Tate.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The Andrew Tate Beauty School.
He he wasn't bald with the
No.
Cubs at all, right? That's all happened in the last 10 years.
Yeah, he wanted to look like Andrew Tate, so there he goes, And I think that this must have been his friend, because you remember Jake's comments after Trump won the first time that, I'll help you pack. Like, helping Rosie O'Donnell pack. By the way, Rosie O'Donnell did end up leaving. She lives in Ireland or some shit. But look at this guy was there in all his Cubs gear. Look at this fucker. Like, how do you show up at the Cubs thing wearing an "if this flag offends you, I'll help you pack" shirt? And I was like, oh, he's probably friends with Jake Arrieta. It's like a Jake Arrieta shirt. That's what he wore when Jake tweeted that, maybe back when that dude was, I don't know, in his late 50s or something like that. Anyway.
He probably doesn't even know that Jake said anything like that. That's just what he wears every day, because he's that kind of dickhead.
Exactly. I'll show him. I would love to have that guy come help me pack. He doesn't seem like a very effective packer.
Oh, I would hate to have him anywhere near my shit. He would not be good at it at all.
No, he would definitely looks like an inefficient packer.
Yeah.
So other things I didn't know is that Miggy, who was hilarious during the podcast, like it's hard to understand him sometimes. The sound wasn't great. I've got tinnitus, and freaking Miggy has a thick accent, but he was off the rails multiple times. Very funny. He needs his own podcast, but also he had an epidural the day of his grand slam. He could barely walk, he said.
Yeah, they've mentioned that maybe one time during one of the episodes, but that was wild when I heard that. And he has not had his episode yet. I have to assume they are going to do one with him, because they have talked about him a number of times about how important he was just to the whole culture.
I think Miggy was drunk. First of all, he got up to pee like 3 times. So I was like, that man's been drinking beer like backstage for 3 hours before this thing even started. And he was up, and they were making fun of him, just like, yo, shut up, Miggy. Because he was always yap in the clubhouse too, probably, right? But he was that guy on the team. And then, like, in opposition to that is Jay, big, strong, silent type, and kind of the takeaway from he didn't come in until later in the show. He was like surprise guest kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he really, what it came down to was he earned the respect through his own personal behavior with everybody throughout the entire few years he had been. He came in 15, right? Or did he come in 16? 16. He came
16.
Well,
no,
I believe.
He came in 16 because
he was on the Cardinals.
He was on the Cardinals when the Cubs beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. But Jay just throughout that year, so he hadn't even been there that long with those guys, but just the way that he was a leader, just the way he set an example for people and would take dudes aside individually and talk to them. And that is so, and because he was so silent, when he spoke during Game 7 and had something to say, everybody listened. And it wasn't what he said, it's who said it.
Well, it was true. It was absolutely who said it. But what he said was pretty amazing. And if you haven't listened, his episode just came out a couple weeks ago.
It's basically win one for the Gipper, and we've been here all year.
No, it's better than that. That's why I say you got to listen, and you got to really listen to the things that he's saying, and you got to listen to all of the episodes, because there's things that happened in that like the whole thing about, like, which has been weird since Game 7. We've all known there was a speech, but nobody knew what the speech was about until now. And now what we're starting to hear, I think, is that it wasn't completely like kumbaya between the players and the coaches, especially with Jay. He had, like, he's a
swing thing, like,
he's a great speaker. He understands how to handle himself and how to talk and everything. And so he doesn't come right out and put anybody on blast.
Right.
But if you listen, he's absolutely putting people on blast.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he had a rough year that year, if you remember. That's when
Yeah.
we all started being like, he, changed his number to 43, but, yeah, but they respected the hell out of him. And because they had such a variety of people, of different kinds of people. And that's one thing that Theo was also good at. He would always talk about people's character and who they were. And he'd talk to their freaking moms, and he'd talk to their high school girlfriend, and he'd talk he just was very thorough in that way. And it's inspiring putting together this musical. I told Nicole the other day, I said, I think in many ways it's more important who is in the room as opposed to how talented they are. I think anybody that we're going to get is going to be a great singer, but I'm like, I would take a less, like, they got to be able to sing. It's a musical, but if I would take a lesser singer, over somebody that's going to cause me all these problems being an egomaniac. And we see this all the time with the makeup of some of these teams where you have a bunch of talented people and the egos get in the way. Like, look at the Padres.
Yeah.
Then the Mets, don't they seem to be kind of like that? Just like they're all separate. These dudes were very disparate, but they were like a Crayola crayon packet with all different colors, or an art set with some watercolors and some clay and all sorts of a variety of things that Joe Madden could employ at any given time, and they were healthy as fuck. That's really the main thing, is that they didn't lose all their starting pitchers like we did this year.
Right. Well, it's too bad that Theo didn't take that approach in his front office, because he talked about it in his front office. Everybody's just a white dude wearing khakis, and that's who's still there. There's no diversity there. There's no different thoughts. Everybody's a Harvard fucking mathematician, and it's garbage. And Theo talked about it and acted like he was going to do it, but then he ended up leaving. He didn't do anything with it. So that was like,
those are nepo jobs. They're nepo jobs. They find a job for my nerdy cousin.
But it's the thing that we have been talking about on this show for many years. Baseball is art. These are performers. Even though it's a game and they're not necessarily the pitcher is not trying to help the hitter do something impressive, like maybe if you're dancing, but it's a physical art form like dancing. And you need to understand that part of it, which the Cubs and many front offices in this league do not understand it. They think it's all math. They think they got it all figured out. But the problem is the math only starts it, and they have no clue how to get that sort of clubhouse feel that every one of these guys talks about having in that clubhouse, like how much they loved it.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to, even if the Cubs somehow this year win the World Series, I do not think they'll be beloved. Maybe a couple of the guys, but it's not going to go down like this. Speaking of what you're talking about too, because, the Joe Madden philosophy, who ended up getting a line or two last night from the stage is John Baker. So they talked about him and how Baker had said about Arrieta, because they remember they got him in 13. Yeah. And Baker had said about Arrieta that this was the filthiest shit he's ever seen. And we saw that, just the movement on that pitch that he was employing to mix with the fastball. I mean, just insane stuff from Arrieta those couple of years. The year he won the Cy Young, Baker was catching him. So I came home and I texted Baker. I'm like, hey, you're catching some positive strays from the stage at Chicago Theater from the 2016 team. He goes, those guys were always so good to me. And I said, well, if you think about it, you were the guy that was catching him, helping him along, the veteran catcher that was working with him, with Justin Grimm, who got you through those middle innings, with Pedro Strop, who we got in the same trade, with Hector Rondon, who was there in 2014. Teaching getting Anthony Rizzo through another. Remember the big freaking fight with Aroldis Chapman and Anthony Rizzo, that's with John Baker's right in the middle of that shit. So like, I'm like, dude, it's all built upon something. Theo brought you in for a reason to work with these guys. He obviously liked the way you were working, and you were there before Joe Madden was even there. So anyway, so he's part of it all too. And they're talking about him from the stage. So I don't think that's too far off of a thing, because Miggy is like, oh, and he did mental skills too. So obviously Miggy was in there being like, you got to help me, John. Yeah. Everybody hates me. I talk too much.
Well, yeah. I mean, because by the time the 2016 team came around, he had been to Seattle and didn't get an invitation to break with the team, so he retired.
The right, Mariners,
yeah. But 16, that's when he went back to the Cubs and joined the training, coaching, consulting, whatever he did at that time. I don't think he had a specific job right at that moment, but that's when he got back into the team.
Well, actually, you know who brought him back? The Son Ranto show at John Baker Day. Like, that's when he came back. That is literally 2016, July 29th. Son Ranto show brings him back with the very first John Baker Day 10 years ago. Within no time, he's employed by the Cubs. The Cubs were like, oh, John Baker's here? Bring him back. So
bring him back.
You're welcome, everybody. And you're welcome, Pittsburgh Pirates, where he ended up going. Eddie Vedder was on the stage last night. And that was cool to see. He sang Someday We'll Go All the Way. And what a great guy.
I haven't heard that song in a long time. I love that song.
It makes me cry. It really makes me cry. And
especially 10 years later, when it feels like we're not even close.
Exactly. Now the song, we need new lyrics, Eddie. Maybe it's some of the old we won it once and now let's do it again. And someday we'll go out. He needs a new verse. I'll call him or something. I assume his number is 1-800 Eddie Vedder.
That's what every famous person's number is.
Eddie. So what else did I have? Oh yeah, Travis Wood is the 2016 Cubs Crawley, because a shirt cannot stay on the man. There he is holding the 2016 trophy, which they still have. And Travis Wood immediately took his shirt off when given the chance. And he looks good.
Dude's ripped. Looks great.
Dude is ripped. Yeah. Absolutely ripped. Does not, I don't know. He might skip leg day, but he looks good up top. And if I looked like that, I'd take my shirt off regularly as well.
If he's a pitcher, he doesn't skip leg day.
Yeah, no, that is, well, he didn't pitch anymore. But then, so now just a couple of complaints. First of all, we sang Go Cubs Go 3 times. Like, that was the plan. They're like, oh, we'll put on Go Cubs Go and everybody will sing. And then they put it on again after Someday We'll Go All the Way. And then they played it again. So anyway, that was kind of weird, just because I'm like,
Yeah, like once, but 3 times for the whole song. That's like a 3-minute song. Like,
yeah, I know. In fact, no, it was cut in half. They played it as part of the video, and in the video, the verse got cut in half, so everybody got confused in the middle too. So it was just like, it was kind of funny. Anyway, that's a minor complaint. Now a major complaint is that Boog Sciambi obviously has no emotional connection to the 2016 Chicago Cubs at all. And I'm like, he was either rooting for nobody or rooting for the Indians that year, because and it wasn't like I expected him to be like a stat bot about that team and know everything that happened with them, but he obviously just did not give a flying fuck.
John Sciambi does not care about teams, players, or anything. All he cares about is the numbers. He's a fucking fantasy baseball dipshit, and that's the only thing he cares about. And the bad part about that, the worst part about it, is that we have to hear him all the fucking time spewing this fantasy baseball shit, and he doesn't even understand that. That's the problem.
Yeah. I'd rather hear Sarah say. least Sarah Sanchez makes it make sense in a way, you know. Like,
if you ask Sarah a question about some of the stats that she's bringing up, she'll be able to like move on from there and explain that to you. Fucking Boogs on there, like this dipshit is talking about stuff, and then JD asks like a normal follow-up question, and Shambi's like, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah,
it's like, what do you mean you don't fucking know?
His
like, this is what you do.
His spin rate is 100 RPMs faster during night games on the road. Huh? Really? That's really fascinating, Boog.
The one that got me, and I can't remember which team it was, but he was just fucking going off for like a good 5 minutes about this dude's arm angle and how he had changed it in spring training and all this stuff.
Oh, you told me the story.
Yeah, and literally JD was like, "Oh, well, you know, how has that affected the pitch or like why do you?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know why."
It's like
he just did it, and I have no idea the effects of it. But I wasn't really curious about like the point of it all. But I just thought I would have a little tidbit to share with you on the show that was like a little factoid. You know, like I'm the back of a freaking Chinese food menu with like random factoids about the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could be eating boogios and looking at the back of the fucking cereal box.
Exactly. Ooh, let me play the maze game. So anyway, I had a great time. Thanks again,
why does
Richard.
it keep circling in around on itself and never going anywhere? It's the worst maze ever.
Back at the start. I'm hungry. Let me eat more boogios. Anyway, because his name is Boog, you can boo him, but then nobody will know. I found that out last night.
Yeah.
So, you know, that worked out pretty good for me.
It's probably the only reason he keeps that name.
Yeah. Anyway, should we move on to Riggs, Flakes, Throws, and Blows? Because I've been excited about this really since you were going to do it last week.
Oh, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. So
yeah,
this
because
is first half.
So I actually did it originally for the first half, 81 games. I did go back in and update it. I didn't have to update much because just basically it's all the same people, but the numbers were a little bit different. But yeah, let's get into it. Roll the Salado.
Roll tape.
And now I'm going to show you how to rake.
Terrible raking.
That's such a bad rake. But yeah, hey, suck my fucking rake, bitches. PCA. I'm going to put up first half raker.
I'm putting up the numbers.
Yeah. Okay. So up to the All-Star break, he's hitting 291, 386, 531 with a 917 OPS. That is elite territory for a season. He leads the team in homers with 21. He's second in RBI with 53. Second only to Dansby Swanson, who, by the way, would not be anywhere near PCA if he hadn't had that 15 RBI like explosion in 2 games against the Mets. That's like literally the only reason that Dansby's above him. He's got the most triples, of course, the most stolen bases. He's 4th in doubles and walks. And I will admit, look, I was a little bit iffy on whether he should be, leading off for this team. But like we talked about it in that episode, and I kind of got on board with it in that episode. Like, oh, that does make sense. His energy at the beginning of the game. It's done nothing except for prove itself out that he is the leadoff guy, and he should be the leadoff guy, and it should stay that way. From the leadoff spot throughout this season, he is hitting 358, 467, 711 for an 1178 OPS in 159 at bats. And it looks like the Cubs, like the next 6 years, like let's just leave the guy up there. Like those are some fucking amazing numbers playing from that leadoff spot. And obviously that's not just the first inning. That's just being the leadoff guy first spot in the lineup. So.
Yeah, I mean, now we're gonna see if he can't live up to that second half. He fell apart in the second half, and not really. Like the numbers were bad, like you said. He did kind of pull it together at some point. We kind of talked about it last show about PCA not being. He was bad, but he wasn't like hitting like 123 or something,
His August was insanely bad.
Yeah.
But then he was able to like turn that around in September, but still not great. He wasn't
good in the playoffs. Like, well, I just hope he can sustain it this year because he was otherworldly recently, and it would be nice if he could sustain that. I don't know, maybe till November.
Well, and I really do think he will, because after moving to that leadoff spot, his approach at the plate is different. He's taking way more walks. Like I said, he's fourth in walks, but he wasn't even trying to take walks early in this season. But now he takes a good number of walks. He sees a lot of pitches. He hits the ball very hard from that top spot. And, there's been a lot made recently about how he's changed his batting stance from the start of the season to now. And so I just think it's going to be, I'm not worried. Let's put it that way. I'm not worried about how he's going to play out the second half. I think he's really found his spot at that first in the lineup.
Yeah, maybe MVP territory too for him if he can sustain this.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready for flakes?
Absolutely.
I haven't worried about flakes since my grunge days. Remember them?
Oh, that's so good. So nobody would have guessed this before the season, but the first half flaker is Nico Horner. He is hitting 233, 305, 326 with a 631 OPS.
Yikes.
And unfortunately, I had a little bit on this that he had turned it around a little bit in July or June. No, he was really bad in May and he turned around a little bit in June. So I thought maybe he was going to get it back up and running, but no, he did not. He's actually, since when I had to readjust the numbers, they went down for him in July. So that's not good. But it sounds like, to me, at least, they screwed with him. They told him they want him to pull the ball more and hit with more power. And that was a mistake. You were talking about how Joe Madden let guys be themselves. That's what this team needs. You need to help a player be the best version of himself. Don't try to make him Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah.
That's not who Nico is.
Last year, Nico Horner, I'm looking at Baseball Reference right now. Last year, he was a 6.2 WAR player. So far this year, he's only accumulated 1 WAR. That's super low. It's the lowest he's ever posted at this point, and on pace to do it. Last year he had an OBP of 345. His OPS was 108 points higher. He won a Gold Glove. Like, he might do that again, actually. But at the same time, like, what happened? And if they fucked with him, he has the most at bats of anyone on the team, which means that even Craig is stupid for batting him all the time. He was up top, obviously, way too long.
Well, again, I think he is a great number 2 hitter. His numbers this year in the number 2 spot are terrible, but I don't think it's because Nico doesn't know how to hit there. I think they asked him to do something. And even if he's not necessarily doing it, remember a few weeks ago, I looked at his spray chart to see if he was pulling the ball a lot, and he is still hitting it all over the field. It's still a mindset that he's going to the plate with. And I think it's just affecting how he can do it. He was flirting with a 300 batting average season last year. And, I can't remember who it was. Shortstop, I think, for the Guardians ended up having the highest batting average, was like 304. But that's because he didn't play for like the last month. Like, he was injured. And so his batting average just got locked in. And Nico was, like I said, he was flirting with 300. I think he ended last year. I don't know.
He ended with a 290. That's 297.
Yeah, 297. And he's batting what, 230 now?
233. Yeah, it's just a huge drop off. And then, there could be, and he just signed the contract. I don't know. Sometimes there's a pressure with that. He's 29. Maybe he's hurt a little.
Especially when you sign that contract and they say, we gave you all this money. Now we want you to hit homers.
Yeah. You hit 7 last year. We wanted you to hit 15. Yeah.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And now he hits none. Now he doesn't hit really, let's try. He's got 4 homers on the year, which actually maybe puts him on pace to hit about what he hit last year.
Right.
I don't remember him hitting any homers. Do you?
Yeah. He only hit 4. It's been a while. It's been 2/3 of the season, even though it's the All-Star break and we're like, oh, first half, second half, it's still like way into the season. But yeah, but that's never been his game. But the fact that he's trying to do it has literally just led to way more warning track outs.
When do you think, if you had to guess, when the last time Nico Horner hit a homer?
I am going to say it was April 28th.
Oh, you're so close. April 21st.
Ooh,
even earlier.
Wow.
He went 2 for 5. He was batting 326. Like, what happened? It really just fell apart. God, sometime in May, really.
Yumper in the chat says he also had some bad luck. Well, whatever. Bad luck comes from doing the wrong thing too. And I'm not saying it's like anything against Nico. I believe that these front office people are just screwing with him because they want him to hit the ball harder because that's all they fucking care about. They don't care about baseball. There's like, well, each guy needs to hit a home run and then we'll get nine runs every game. And that's how they think it works.
Yeah. Well, it's been rough. So, well, maybe, and just like I thought you might mention Bregman here, but Nico's been worse, but we saw Bregman this last week, sort of kind of turning around. Maybe there's something there. Maybe second half Bregman kind of like makes up for first half Bregman, play to the back of the baseball card. Hap, same thing, because Hap's pretty much flaker. Because he's got the walks and the homers, he's more valuable than Nico, but
right. Well, and that's the thing. It's the same thing with Bregman. Somehow Bregman's hitting like 240, which I don't even understand how that's even possible because I never see him do anything good.
He's a garbage time. If you're winning 23-3, he will in his seventh and in the 7th inning and the 9th inning, he'll get hits.
Actually, he went 0 for 5 in that 23
I know
run.
That is funny, yeah.
But here's the thing about Bregman, which surprised me. They had him batting second for way too long. He was terrible at it. And he just was not good there. And look, lineups make a difference. The stat holes will just absolutely deny that left, right, and center. They're idiots, though. It makes a difference where you hit. And when they moved him to the number 3 spot, I was the first one to be like, oh, fuck Bregman. Like, he can't hit 2, and now you're going to put him at 3? Well, guess what? Apparently 3 might be his spot. Like, since he's moved to that 3rd spot, it's been a bit different. Like, he's actually driving guys in. He's actually doing things that look good in the batter's box. So if what we saw right before the All-Star break with him being the number 3 hitter continues on, he is going to have a great second half of the year. And then, of course, the styles be like, well, that just happens. That just happens. It's magic. They just always end up with the same numbers. No, it doesn't. If they would have left him at number 2, I don't think he gets there. But for whatever reason, number 3, I think just makes him fit well. Of course, I've said things like this before, and it's come back to bite me. So we'll find out. Bregman may go like 0 for 35.
Hot take. Oh, Michael's hot take is Bregman's better at 3 than 2.
Yeah.
I would have put him down at freaking 7 for a while.
That's what I was thinking when he was at 2.
But then you
And
got a
then they
bunch of
moved him to
7 hitters
3.
on the team. Everybody's a 7 hitter except for PCA.
Yeah. But then when they moved him to 3 and he actually started hitting well, I was like, wow, okay, I'm into it.
And Carson Kelly, the catcher, is a fucking better hitter than half the goddamn lineup. You know what I mean? Like, you have a chance, you know. So, all right. Well, let's move on to throws.
Throw him up, son. Throw him up. Yeah. Throw him up, son. Throw him up.
Okay. All right. Is it even possible to talk about the pitching? Are you going to swap out the numbers here, Danny?
Yeah. I'll put in the pitching numbers here
because, literally, Shota Imanaga is the best pitcher on the team,
the ace.
But that's mainly because he's the only pitcher who has not died this year. Like, he has a 4.17 ERA, which is better than every starter except Ben Brown and Javier Assad. Brown, who knows? Dead. He's lost his neck. His neck is gone. And Javier Assad, they do not trust in any way. So who knows how many more starts he's going to get. But he has 35 more strikeouts than the next guy on this team, which is Colin Ray. He has 105 strikeouts. Colin Ray has 70. That's your top 2 guys on this team.
Jesus.
And what's that?
I said, Jesus.
Yeah. And the thing is, Shota's not a strikeout pitcher. He's not. But he's actually quietly been kind of good at it. He has obviously.
And they didn't want him.
Yeah. He's given up the most earned runs on the team by a lot, but because he's pitched so many innings, that's what brings his ERA down, because all the other guys are like, well, I gave up less earned runs, but I died, and all those earned runs were in 50 innings, whereas Shota's up, in the hundreds now or something.
Yeah,
so,
108.
Yeah. So
he has given up 22 home runs, though.
Yes. And I didn't look this up at the break, he had given up 20, and so had Jameson Taillon, and those two were tied for third in all of Major League Baseball at the time. I assume he's still third unless he went up to second. I don't think
Taillon might. I got some bad news for you, because Taillon had given up 20 home runs, and he might be coming back soon. He's been doing some rehab starts.
Yeah.
So get ready for him to be on the blows.
Yep.
List.
But so look, Ben Brown, honestly, if he could stay healthy, he would have been the best pitcher in the best of the starters. He also would have been the best bullpen pitcher, because he's done both this year. Unfortunately, he's not there because he just doesn't have the amount that he needs. And this was something that was surprising to me, that when I looked, Cade Horton only pitched 2 games. Like, as excited as we were and how good he did, he pitched 2 games. It's insane how big of an impact that we thought he was going to have, and he's done nothing since. But Trent Thornton is actually the thrower in the bullpen. He has the lowest ERA out of the bullpen, but of course, 3 guys have more innings than him. So, he's got an opportunity. He could probably blow up his ERA soon, but he's also kept it down in less innings too. So that's fairly impressive. He has the lowest whip in the bullpen at 1, and the average against is the lowest, and it's 194. That's pretty good. But he is nowhere near the most strikeouts. I think that's that might be Teal Bar.
What's his FIP? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I wonder. It comes up one of the best defenses in the majors, and I just wonder.
And that's one thing that really fucking annoys me. It's like, oh well, his FIP isn't good. Well, if the pitcher is good and he knows who his defense is, why the fuck would he be trying to do it all himself?
Okay.
Yeah, his FIP doesn't look good because he knows what he's fucking doing.
Dude, his FIP. All right. I'm looking at it right now. Can you guess what Trent Thornton's FIP is? His ERA is 2.48. What's his FIP?
I'm going to say his FIP is 5.50.
Oh, it's 5.13.
God, I'm close.
Oh, so on any other, if we're going to face the Twins, they don't have very good defense. If Trent Thornton's on the Twins, his ERA is like 9.
Right. Except for, and this is why the numbers do not tell the truth in the way that everybody thinks they do. Because if Trent Thornton was on the Twins, he would not be pitching exactly the same as he pitches with the Cubs. He knows what he can get away with. He knows what he's trying to do out there. If he's with the Twins, he's not going to have a 9 ERA. He may not have whatever 240 that he's got with the Cubs, but he might have a lot more strikeouts. You don't know. You don't know what he is going to try to do in a different situation because everything happens in context. And when you add that shit into numbers and then you fucking forget about the game, well, the numbers have no context.
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, that's what Joe Madden was saying last night. And it's not even old time thought. It should be a new time thought. Like there's new ways to think about this because of the numbers. You just have to get past the numbers and stop thinking about them after you learn about the numbers inform your overall worldview about how things work. You know what I mean? And then you just go out and live your fucking life. You know what I mean? So, all right. Well, are you ready for the blows?
I am.
Okay, I gotta find the drop here. Here it is.
Just put your lips together and blow.
I never thought about this, but that little video has way different meaning ever since SMFDB. That's a totally different video now. But the blows, look, is there any way to pick a pitcher on this team and say he gets the blows? There has been so much bad crap that has happened to this bullpen, to the starters. Everybody's dying. Craig literally doesn't have anybody to work with. He just has to keep going to the same guys over and over. So there's no way to do it. So what I'm saying is it's the coaches, the training staff, and the front office. They get the blows for whatever it is they are doing to kill every pitcher that is put on a fucking Cubs uniform this year.
Well, I got good and bad news for you is that it seems like Philippe Maton is coming back. Phil Maton.
Dude, it's so ridiculous. And did you hear what they said about him? He's got a knee problem. That's what he's saying, right? His knee hurts. And their solution is he's just going to have to learn to play with the pain. What?
Pop a couple Motrin, call it a day.
Jesus Christ. Rub some dirt on it, Phil. That's all right. That's fucking insane that you would have a guy. If that's the case, put him on the fucking 60-day IL and move on. Don't be like, well, we're paying him a bunch of money, so he's gonna pitch because we have to have him out there. That's fucking stupid.
Well, plus they also need people because everybody else died. I mean, there's these sorts of guys on this team that nobody was expecting to be here.
I get it, but a Phil Maton who has not been good and has a knee injury isn't better than just some random fucking dude from Iowa. Put him on the 60-day IL and forget about him until
Ryan Rollison, 280 earned run average. But what's his FIP?
Yeah. But that's it for the Rakes Flakes throws and blows. We got PCA, Horner, Shota, Trent Thornton, all on the good side. Or, well, no, I guess Nico's not on the good side. And then, you know, the management staff as our ultimate blowers.
A dig. Well, we should take a break because we're an hour 4 in. Even though we got still a bunch of stuff on the list to talk about.
Always have a bunch of stuff.
Do, yeah. We'll decide what we want to talk about on the way back. But I do think we should knock a few things off the bitch clock. Let's do that right away when we come back. So stay tuned for the bitch clock. In the meantime, you should support us at patreon.com/bleacherbunch. And we probably have do you have a silhouette for us today?
We do. We have a silhouette. I'm going to pop it up there. This is a very old style baseball card. Shows a guy making a running catch, and then his profile in the picture, played outfield for the Cubs. And the clue for the listeners, and obviously for the people who are watching, this Negro League star signed with the New York Giants in 1949 and served as a mentor for Willie Mays. He played 1 year for the Cubs in 1956.
Oh, this is like, I don't know if we have any listeners or watchers that even were alive in 1956.
Oh no, this is going to be a little bit of a tough one, but
I think I know who it is, but okay.
When we come back, I'll tell you.
All right. Well, we will be right back, and stay tuned and support us at patreon.com/bleacherbunch.
The Bleacher Bunch brings you great shows like Sun Ranto, Cubs PS Plus, Bricks Behind the Ivy, Cup of Cubby Blue, and Baseball Rabbit Hole. But you could be getting so much more when you subscribe to our Patreon page for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/bleacherbunch. Get access to our exclusive daily show Cubs Pod, where we recap every single game. Plus, be the first to hear Cubs music, get early access to events, and receive an invitation to join our Discord Cubs community, where fans just like you show up every day to rant and rave about our beloved boys in blue. Most importantly, 10% of your Patreon pledge will go directly to help the Lost Boys Youth Baseball program. So join us. There are perks at every level, like the Renter Calendar, absolutely free, and name recognition for you or your business. We are independent Cubs podcasters, and we need your support. Otherwise, we'll quit. Seriously, we'll all quit. Some of us might even die from your lack of support. In fact, the cutest little puppy you've ever seen will die if you don't support the Bleacher Bunch at patreon.com/bleacherbunch. We promise to spend all the Patreon money on tickets and beer and all the dog crap we have to buy just to keep our podcast rolling. So give us your money, and we'll waste it far better than you will. Patreon.com/bleacherbunch. Free trials are available, but don't do a free trial. Just join, okay? Okay. Patreon.com/bleacherbunch.
In the clutch, in the clutch. Buy t-shirts from In the Clutch. Take it from the Bleacher Bunch. You'll love the shirts from In the Clutch.
In the Clutch shirts are comfortable, stylish, and guaranteed to get you laid. Plus, they're proud sponsors of the Bleacher Bunch. Use promo code BleacherBunch for 10% off your purchase.
Nice to feel and soft to touch. That's why you will get laid so much. Wearing a shirt from In the Clutch. And you can thank the Bleacher Bunch. In the Clutch, in the Clutch. Buy t-shirts from In the Clutch. Remember the code Bleacher Bunch. Save 10% at In the Clutch. In the Clutch. In the Clutch.
In the Clutch shirts actually not really guaranteed to get you laid.
Hey there, as you can see, I'm a talking penguin. No, I'm not like the Batman kind of penguin or Ron Say or that dumb fuck Happy Feet. No, I'm the spokespenguin for Penguin Imprints, who makes awesome imprinted items with original designs. And they do custom stuff too. Well, check this out. And this. How do you like this, Chicago? And I love this one. And this might sound a little weird coming from a penguin, but fuck ice indeed. Penguin Imprints also makes custom t-shirts and stickers for your event or organization. And because they're sponsors, listeners of the Bleacher Bunch Network can get 20% off any order at penguinimprints.com with the code Bleacher Bunch. Okay, that's enough about Penguin Imprints. Now I gotta go find that little bitch Happy Feet and put his smirking beak on the other side of his head. I hate that fucker. But man, do I love Penguin Imprints.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there because I was entrenched in the awesome new baseball fan app called Fanarchy. It's the best way to keep up on Cubs and baseball news and follow every game live. But what I like best is the game search feature. I can find any game in history by describing it and say I was there. Gabby Hartnett hits a big homer, and there it is. The lineups, the box score. Oh, I can reminisce about being there at the homer and the gloaming. People don't say gloaming about dusk like they used to. Let's try another. Babe Ruth calls his shot and hits a homer at Wrigley Field. And there it is, Charlie freaking Root. What a bum. Anywho, I love Fanarchy, so I wrote them a song. Get off Facebook, get off X. The Fanarchy app is the best. For all the Cubs baseball news I need, I always use Fanarchy.
Okay,
Who the hell is it?
Well, real quick, in that Sports Daddy commercial, I swear he has a beer in his right hand, but he takes a drink out of the jar in his left hand, and I'm pretty sure that's piss. That's the travel jar
This
of piss.
surprises you?
Yeah. No, it doesn't at all. I was watching it, and for the first time today, I realized he's drinking piss.
The AI thing I made that with is now, I think, banned in the United States because it's from China, and all the American ones suck. I can't get him to do. I can't get him to drink piss on the American ones. I'm moving to China.
Yeah, along with Cubstradamus.
Yeah,
but okay, so we've got in the
roommates in Wuhan.
In the chat, Lil Yumper was the first to jump in there, and he says Billy Williams, which is incorrect. Terry said Buck O'Neill. Good try, Terry, but Buck only coached for the teams. And then Yumper says Monty Irvin, and he says, I only know that because I was looking up the 56 team today for no reason. Are you sure you weren't looking up that 56 team because that was the clue? And then Artie Boucher came in with Monty Irvin, and Tom Cooper says Sam Jones. I'm not sure who Sam Jones is. I'll have to look that up. But the correct answer was Monty Irvin.
I didn't know he played for the Cubs.
He only played one season. So Monty Irvin played for the Cubs in 56, obviously. He was a 10-year veteran of the Negro Leagues and also a World War II veteran. When he came back from World War II, Branch Rickey tried to get him on the Dodgers, but he actually declined because he didn't think coming right out of the service he was going to be able to play that well. So he actually played in the Mexican leagues and stuff too to just build back up into playing condition. But he was with the Newark Eagles, and they won a championship in 1946, and then he won a World Series championship with the Giants in 1954. He was with the Giants for 7 years.
Is that the Bobby Thompson? Giants win the pennant. Giants win the pennant.
It might be. Yeah, I don't know. But I will say, so in 1951, he led the National League with 121 RBI and a 6.9 WAR. Nice.
It was actually 51 was the Giants win the pennant, Bobby Thompson, which apparently they were stealing signs.
Yeah. But, and actually the way that I just said that, I said that he led the league with the 6.9 WAR. No, he just had a 6.9 WAR. He led the league with 121 RBI. In 8 years, in the big leagues, he had an OPS of 858 in the National League. which is that's amazing for 8 years. And those were not his best years. Those were after spending 10 years in the Negro leagues and going to war. When he played for the Cubs, he was 37 years old. He had 15 home runs, an OPS of 801, and he only had 388 plate appearances. So that's a good amount of homers for basically half a season of plate appearances. And then his number was retired by the Giants because he died. Well, that's not why they were retired. His number was retired before, but he died in January of 2016. And so the Giants were actually wearing a patch on their sleeve in his honor when the Cubs beat them in the playoffs that year.
Wow.
So that's a little Monty Irvin.
I didn't know anything about him, really. I heard the name before. I thought of him as a Giant. I didn't know he played for the Cubs. That's cool. Yeah. So a couple of just quick notes. There was a draft, which I don't know why they put this at the All-Star game so that nobody can pay attention to it, because you have All-Star festivities and a draft at the same time. It's like, that makes no sense to me.
Unless they did the draft at the fucking All-Star game. Like, do it on the field. Maybe people will look at it.
It said you got it, Manfred, at the freaking airport Sheridan, like butchering everybody's name. You see that he butchered the White Sox guy's name. But if your name,
it was the first pick, everyone knew
it was going to be the first pick. He had no idea how to say the kid's name.
How to say that name, and he screwed it up.
I don't even know who it is. I forget the guy's name too. But I will say this: if your name, this is a public service announcement to all the people listening right now. If your name is Cade, Caden, or Dylan, you may have just been drafted by the Chicago Cubs, because every single one of the guys that we got is a pitcher named Cade, Caden, or Dylan.
That player's name is
Roch Chalowski.
Yeah, it's ROCHCHOLOWSKY. So I'm going to go with Roch Chalowski, which, by the way,
I'm going Roch.
If your name is Rock, that's bad as fuck, man. Like,
especially if it's spelled with a CH. Like,
yeah,
just put a K like a person. So I got to be like Roch the crotch. Yeah. And then you start, the next part of his name starts with a CH. So you just have one CH.
Rochalowski. Rochalowski.
Why not? So that's one note that I had. We did get a couple hitters, but mostly as pitchers. We're never going to see any of these guys play. It's not even worth talking about. But if you care to, you could pause on all these Dylans. And we drafted 2 Dylans in a row, dude.
Yeah, 2 Dylans in a row. Two
and
Cades in a row. I mean, it's Cade and it's Caden, but that's basically just Cade.
And of course, you need a Carson. And
yeah,
the only hitter we got is a guy named Miles, and he's the only one I was excited about because it was a big kid. He hit lefty, and he hit a fucking dog in the video I saw. I'm like, I could see that happening.
And of course, there's a chase. Lots of chases getting drafted now.
Yeah, there's a guy named Ariston, so that's a new one.
Ariston.
So, yeah, Carson, Cadens, Dylan's. Yeah. It's a Gen Z nightmare. Yeah, it's a Gen Z nightmare, I tell you. All right, so that happened. That's a little note. And also, I didn't know this, but I don't know how I missed this piece of news, but the Savannah Bananas are coming to Wrigley Field. And you tried to see the Savannah Bananas.
I literally just saw that when I went on the Obvious Shirts today, saw the banana stuff. But yeah, look, I've got my little
that information.
I've got my little mini bat, Savannah Bananas, and this was the single good thing that happened at my Savannah Bananas game. It was horrible. It was July 3rd. It was hot as balls. We get there at like 5 o'clock for a 7 o'clock game. They were supposed to start pre-show stuff at 6:30. Problem is, we were sitting out there in like the 95-degree heat, and a storm came through. And just drenched everybody. They're like, oh, we got lightning. Everybody needs to like hide under.
And there's nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go. Those walkways were even hotter than was in the stands before. So you could, and because that's where the concessions are, you couldn't get anywhere near a concession because you didn't even know if there was a line or not. It was brutal. We sat there forever. They did not really let anybody know what was going on. They had no idea when things were going to happen. And we eventually left at like 8 o'clock. So I had spent 3 hours in the heat and then getting drenched in the rain. And then at 8, we finally left and walked home because, I'm in Iowa City. I walked there. It's like, I think it's 2 miles away from my house. Yeah, it started raining on the way home. So then we walked.
But did you check the radar?
What do you mean check the radar? Like you can't check the radar when that's when the game is. But they refused to cancel the game. And it finally got going at 9 o'clock. Our friend Alex was at the game. Dominic came down with his family for the game. Corey Furlong, we were all there. Corey and I didn't make it to the game. Luckily, we found out this week. We got a phone number and we called, and the Bananas are giving us all our money back for those tickets because apparently there were people who were still at the game and could not get back in because the security guards, even though the announcement said you can leave and come back when we start the game, the security guards wouldn't let them back in.
Oh, brutal.
It was an absolute mess. There were still actually quite a few people who stuck it out and stayed, but I'm sorry, there's no amount of like, I don't know, pulling somebody's pants down when they're running the second that will make it worth me staying there and watching that game.
Yeah, I mean, till you're there till midnight and you're like, this isn't funny.
Yeah.
Just mad.
And that's the thing. Yeah, it didn't get over until like 11. And I mean, that's just such a long day. There were kids there, and this just started at like noon, right? With all the pregame stuff that they did. So some of these people got there really early, and then the game went off 2 hours late. And they get home at 11. It's some of those kids are there, man. I can't imagine how bad it was for a lot of people. And even though I left and I woke up the next day, and I was pretty sad the next day. I was like, man, I really did want to see that damn game. But I was just like, nope. In the moment, there was no way I could stick it around. It was bad.
I got drenched out in the open of a Weird Al concert last year. I mean, we were trying to stick it out and just, I mean, my freaking kidneys were soaked. Like went through my skin. It was just, and we were laughing at first, like, oh, I guess we're going to watch Weird Al wet. And then it was just like, started blowing and people's umbrellas started going. And I'm like, this is actually getting dangerous. We have to go. Thunder and lightning and so I'm with you. And I was pretty disappointed because then we're just like trudging through the mud and carrying lawn chairs. Like, it's miserable, but I did not get my money back. So at least you can take solace in that. And I'm kind of surprised you did because that never happens.
I absolutely did not expect to get my money back. I thought for sure that money was just gone. But I guess enough people complained because they just couldn't get back into the game that they were just like, it's easier just to give the money back for the people who didn't go.
So now we skipped this last week too. We'll do all our cleaning up right now because we're getting back into the actual season again. So we got to do the first half pick'em game. You got to tell us the leaderboards.
Oh yeah.
Were we going to do that last time and we didn't do it?
Yeah. So this is up through 83 games, and I did 83 because the Cubs played the Brewers. And I didn't want to like cut off one Brewers game just to make it 82. So the leaderboard, I've got it on the leaderboard right now, which this sucks too, because I was going to give a gift, like a prize to the leader at the second half, right? I showed that. It's Eli. Eli is leading this thing. What's that?
What does that suck? It's your son. You should be proud.
Well, no, it's great for him, but it's my shit. Like, I don't need, like, I'm trying to give away cool shit, and he's not going to take it with him. And so, I'll give it to the second place guy. Well, that's me. So there's no fucking way I'm getting rid of it.
No prize. Well, here's the prize. You're going to sit in the bleachers in the 95-degree heat again tomorrow, and a passing shower is going to soak you. And it's going to be just like the Bananas game all over and over again, except this time Anthony Rizzo will be there.
No, in third place is Yumper, and he doesn't give a shit about the Cubs anymore. Like, we're down the list now. I can't give this shit to anybody, but Dominic is
Give
fourth.
It to the last place guy, which I believe is me.
Yeah, Mike Waller fifth. He is one game better than Andrew Waller, so that's pretty fun at this point.
Family resemblance.
And then Artie and Andrew Waller are tied, and then Danny and Bill. You two are tied with the worst record, 35, 49, and 1. The 1 is for the rain out game with Toronto that they haven't made up.
Okay.
So it's 35, 40. No, that's not right. Yeah, 35, 49, and 1. Sorry, I'm looking at all the numbers right now. And so both of you are in dead last, except Cubs Magic number Jeff. He has 33 correct, but only 35 incorrect because he got started late. So even though he is behind you guys on correct, his percentage is way above you.
So I also wanted to point out that Dominic Galoro is he's out delivering mail to the people right now.
Yeah.
And he says it's so effing hot. So we want to just shout out, that's come rain, sleet, heat, snow, Savannah Bananas games and lightning, bobblehead days, and Crawley without a shirt. Dominic's out there delivering the mail. So be careful out there. Hydrate yourself, buddy. And okay, now we can move on. Why don't we do some bitch clocking? Because I want to knock some things off of this list here. We got all sorts of things on the wheel of grievances. I think we just do speed round. I won't even say that. I'll only tell you the new things are on the bitch clock because we've had these things on here for a while.
Yeah, don't do all the old ones. Just do the new ones.
Yeah, Friday night games, throwing garbage on the field in celebration, Twinkle D and Twinkle Dub, the new schedule, which we should talk about. And then those are the only new ones. So I'm gonna spin the wheel, and round she goes. This is, by the way, how I'm gonna pick raffle winners on John Baker Day. Ooh, Cackling Zach.
That's all you, baby.
Oh yeah, baby. I was born for this one. I was born for it. All right, let me get to the proper situation, and here we go.
Bitch clock, you have 30 seconds to bitch.
Pat Hughes is a funny guy. Pat Hughes tells dad jokes here and there. Pat Hughes does not make anybody guffaw. It makes you smile, an inner smile, like to yourself. But when Cackling Zach gets going, he sounds like the biggest fucking kiss ass in the world. He's like, that's so funny, Pat. Meanwhile, he's just standing back there with a knife ready to stab Pat right in the back so he can take his freaking job. Well, I hope you never get Pat Hughes' job because you don't deserve it, you cackling maniac.
Stop your bitching.
Nice hit,
motherfucker.
You hit the timer good. I totally agree. There's no way he thinks any of that is funny.
It's a kiss ass.
Well, I don't even think it's a kiss ass. I think he's just sitting back there and he's like, I need people to know I'm here. He can't just fucking do his job. He's got to like be like all the fucking time so that we know he's there. I hate it. Cut his fucking mic.
Amen.
I don't even think he's on mic. I think that's why he laughs that way, so that it gets.
So you can
up.
hear him through freaking Pat's mic.
Yeah. And the
Or
thing is,
Ron.
we had a guy before Zach, and Zach was with the Bears, and then they like did a swap. Like our guy,
Corey Provis. I mean,
yeah,
and that guy did not cackle.
No, he just did his job. And when he was asked about things, he talked about them.
I don't know. I think I don't know if you guys can hear me.
They never really give him a chance. But I know that if we're kind of going in and out a little bit.
Yeah, we froze for a moment there.
It's hot. That's what's going on because internet doesn't like to work when it's that hot.
Cotton modems melted. That's what Corey Furlong said. So I guess it was you, because I was sitting here. I'm like, because you never know, because sometimes like you'll keep moving and I don't keep moving, and then I'm choppy and you're anyway.
Yeah.
It's your turn. So I say
Let's
we just
spin it.
All right, here we go. We're gonna knock a few of these suckers off. We do 3 each at least. Oh, you almost landed on Boog. Oh, Jed's scrap heap pitchers.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, that's pretty good. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Put you in the bitch clock seat and let's go.
Bitch clock, you have 30 seconds to bitch.
I am sick and tired of people being out there thinking that Jed Hoyer is good at his job. He has no idea what he's doing. And every year I have to hear people say, oh, but look what he's doing with the bullpen. Like, it's so good the way that he's able to get a bullpen that works every year, even with all the injuries and everything. Well, guess what? He is not the reason. If you just keep throwing the ball, you're going to hit the target once or twice.
Stop your bitching.
He's just literally just throwing everything that he can at the wall. He's not good at this at all. But if you can just keep sending guys out there, somebody's going to be correct.
Well, and they're just out there to empty the tank too. It's just like, because you're going back, you'll get DFA'd like Bryce Wilson, who's now on the Brewers. The dad bod of from hell. You know he's going to end up kicking our ass like late in the season.
Oh, the
Bryce
Brewers
Wilson's going to go throw 5 innings of freaking perfect baseball.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but the Brewers just picked up a very serviceable starter. Who needs starters? The Cubs. Who doesn't need starters? The Brewers. Who has the new fancy toy? The Brewers. Because they know what they're doing. They're going after what they need. Jed Hoyer is just like, he's
Lance
like the
McCullers.
Yeah, he's the general who's just like, well, just send them all out there. They can't shoot them all.
Yeah,
A few
exactly.
of them will get through.
He's basically like Russia in World War II is what we're like for the bullpen.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
like, well, we'll somehow maintain this border with Ukraine somehow.
All right, let's spin it again.
Have these drones they're throwing at us. So, all right, let's do another one. All right, here we go. Let's spin it away. I want to do more bitch clock in the second half. We have way too many things on this this wheel of grievances. Ooh, right field. Nice.
I like how it's just right field. There's no like.
Well, there's no left field. I'm glad you didn't get this one. Unless, but you like right field.
Right, but it's funny how it's like it. What do they talk about? Right field bleachers, the right field position, the literal right field. Is it like
you could go many ways?
Is there a hole in the? Is there a hole out in the field? I don't know.
All right. Well, actually, now that kind of sparks a few more thoughts about right field in that way. So here we go. Oh wait, I gotta start it over. Here we go, and go.
Bitch clock, you have 30 seconds to bitch.
All right, I'm going to start with the right field bleachers. As the sun sets, the sun is in your eyes when you're watching a night game, or later on in a day game, like 4 o'clock. Here comes the sun, just baking you as it sets in the west. So it doesn't make any sense. You can't watch a baseball game with the sun in your eyes. Second thing, the sun is also in the outfielder's eyes. Remember when Jason Hayward, we would say that he should wear a welding mask while he plays right field? Well, I don't know what kind of idiot put the freaking stadium
Stop
that
your
way because
bitching.
in your eyes, and you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know which way they would face it to not have that happen. Probably if you faced the outfield towards the sun, then the sun would be in your eyes as the batter, which that's not good. There's just no good place to put a ball field these days with the sun unless you have high enough walls.
Yeah, it's tough. And Wrigley Field is known to have a very hard right field to play. But I don't know. We were talking about when they did the Ryne Sandberg statue. We were talking to the sculptor, and he was talking about the flip up shades, and that Ryne Sandberg actually said those things were basically like welding goggles. Like when he flipped them down, they were just completely dark. And I don't know why people aren't using them. Like flip them down. Like they have them on their hat, and then they're like, you can't take it off your hat and put it on your eyes in the middle of the play. And you can't wear them all the time because it's too dark. Like,
but you can flip them.
Yeah, get the flip up.
You got time, boop, boop, and now we're in there. And guess who's got a gold glove? Ryne Sandberg. He should have freaking gold flip glasses, is what he should have. All right. It is your
and
turn.
by the way, I disagree with everything Danny said about right field. I love right field.
It sucks. Right field sucks. Here we go. Spinning it up. And you're going to get... Oh, you almost got Jed. Oh, yeah. This is kind of a similar one. That Sox Park faces the Dan Ryan.
Okay.
So that's new and interesting. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Bitch clock, you have 30 seconds to bitch.
Okay, I'm going to bitch about this question. Like, really? You're talking about how Sox Park faces the Dan Ryan? You can't fucking see the Dan Ryan from where Sox Park is. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I've been there. There's actually a really nice view of downtown. Granted, you can't see it from the field or from your seats because it's not set up that way, but you can go up there and take really nice pictures with the skyline behind you. I can't fucking see Dan Ryan from anywhere, so I don't know why that's a concern.
It's true. You can. Well, you get off the train. You're at the Dan Ryan. You're pretty close to the Dan Ryan there. I mean,
what am I thinking of? I'm actually thinking of the Eisenhower, aren't I?
I don't really know. I don't drive around. I never know where I am. I call it the numbers, like 90, 94, whatever. It's all runs together there, but I believe that's the same as the Dan Ryan. There's also like the Bishop Ford is somewhere. I'm like, what the fuck did Bishop Ford do?
Yeah. Or the Dan Ryan, like
makes Dan Ryan. I don't even know who Dan Ryan
some
is.
Bullshit.
Two guys. What?
Yeah. I said, or the Dan Ryan makes a loop or makes a big turn or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You know what? I don't even know
who he was.
You know what you don't want to do? Get on the Dan Ryan. Just stay the fuck away from the Dan Ryan. I hate.
You have to take the Dan Ryan. It's the only fucking road.
It's the fuck. No, that's why you don't get on it. Like, Danny, I've told you, I like driving in Chicago. You know what I don't like driving? The Dan Ryan. I stay the fuck away from it. Like, I drive downtown. I like how it moves,
dude.
But
we went to last night. Jarrett Gable, bass player, Bleacher Bum Band, does not take the Dan Ryan or any highway at all. We took side streets all the way downtown, and he's like, "This is the best way to go." And we're just like up and down over speed bumps. We're like going down alleys. Like, dude, I felt like I was in Blues Brothers, and the guy drives like a maniac. But let me tell you, having lived, and taken New York City cabs for years, like there were absolute maniacs that drove me around New York City for years. And I would always go give those people a big fat tip because they knew what the fuck they were doing. And I loved it. Like, we ran every red. We were going easily 15, 20 miles per hour over the speed limit. Like, it was incredible. that guy gets a big fat tip. Way to go, Jared Gable. And so he would agree with you. Fuck the Dan Ryan. Fuck the Bishop Ford. Fuck all highways.
Right. It's so fucking frustrating because you're looking at your like app on your phone and it's like, you need to take Dan Ryan because it's 1 minute faster. And it's like, oh, motherfucker. So you get on there and you're like, it's 1 minute faster. I am not moving.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm driving 4 miles per hour.
Yeah, but you get to cut over all these streets. All right. Let's just move on. I think we knocked a few off here.
Cool.
I do want to mention, I'll get through this very quickly, but John Baker Day this year is online on the 30th of July, which is the day after. Well, actually, technically, it is the day of when he actually got the win because it was 2 a.m. on the 30th,
Yeah, just like Game 7 is
technically,
November. What is it? November 3rd.
The 3rd, yeah.
But
so we're doing John Baker Day online. John's going to come on. We're going to hear all about his new business, which is a mental skills business, intentional performance, and it's a lot of kind of what Joe Madden was talking about. It's like John is a disciple of Joe Madden, who's a disciple of Ken Revisa. So anyway, John's super interesting. We're going to have a show with him. We reminisce about that night, little John Baker Day trivia, stuff like that. But we are trying to raise money for Trapdoor Theater, which is producing my musical, The Game, which is pretty freaking done. I mean, we're already rehearsing it, stuff like that. It's in great shape. The script is in great shape. The songs are in great shape. We're putting it together. I need $60,000 to like cover all the costs of this, and I'm well into raising some of this money. So I do want to shout out a couple people. Some you don't know, so I only mention the ones you know, which is Mike Waller coming in big. John Pincus coming in big, and this John Baker Day situation that we're doing is going to be a matching grant, or a matching gift from Mike Waller. So anything we can raise from John Baker Day, Mike's going to match that. So think of every dollar that we can raise, whether you're going to our John Baker Day auction, which now has a Anthony Rizzo signed bat on it, by the way.
Nice.
That's brand new. It has things like hanging out with Bleacher Jeff in his seat and eating at the site of the Battle of Wrigley'sville Dogs with Bleacher Jeff and me, so you get to win this. Tom Cooper's already actually bid on that. It's sitting at $100 right now. And it's a game to be determined based on everybody's schedule. Also, we're going to be doing a raffle, which I have a champagne bottle of from 2016, a 2016 unopened champagne bottle. It's worth over $100 on eBay, stuff like that. Plus all sorts of prizes like gift certificates from In the Clutch shirts, Penguin imprints. We're doing the John Baker Day Obvious shirt. That's going to get a Obvious shirt donation from Joe over there. So basically what I'm saying is I'm working my ass off right now to try to raise money to put this musical on. And Trapdoor is a non-for-profit, been around for 30 years. We know what we're doing over there, and it's just going to be awesome. This is really happening because I feel like I'm nearly, as far as promised funds go, nearly halfway there as far as promised funds. I haven't even sold a single ticket yet. So that's freaking awesome. So anyway, go to sunranto.com/John Baker Day. At the Sunranto website, there's a John Baker Day page. On that page, you'll find a way to buy raffle tickets. And we're going to be raffling off all sorts of great prizes throughout the show, including those gift certificates I was just talking about. So if you buy raffle tickets there, we'll be putting you in the wheel of names. And there's just go and buy raffle tickets there. And we'll give them away on John Baker Day night. Ballhawk Dave, his jewelry will be in the raffle as well. And also check out, it's at 32 auctions. You'll see at John Baker Day or sunranto.com/John Baker Day, you'll find the link to the auctions there too. I also have a Cubs Insider article that with all the information that we'll be posting very soon as well. So get involved in any way right now, because it's really, this will be a Ranter produced musical. So,
yeah.
And Trapdoor. So, you guys are the fiscal sponsors of this entire thing, along with the people who are giving like big time gifts. So I really appreciate any gift, large, small. There's also a GoFundMe there. There's all sorts of ways you can get involved by doing your own GoFundMe. You can have your birthday Facebook fundraiser go to Trapdoor Theater because it's listed in the approved birthday fundraiser people, so you can choose Trapdoor Theater, and that would help us make this musical just by hitting up your grandma. So anyway, I appreciate it. Great art doesn't happen unless people want it to happen. So I need you guys. And I'm very confident that this is going to fucking happen. And I couldn't be more excited because I'm around some really talented people right now that is going to make this show good. And I'm excited to get my chops back up. I'm playing a lot of piano. Like I hadn't done that in years, been playing mostly guitar, and I do play guitar in this too, but I'm going to be getting up there every night, 4 shows a weekend and like pounding this show out. 20 games a year, 20 game season is what we're calling it.
Nice. That's
20
awesome.
games of the game. So anyway, I'm fucking excited, and hopefully I can somehow keep the show going at the same time next year. I'm actually hoping there's a baseball strike because it helps me out great, because my show is half about all the greed that we see in our society.
There's absolutely going to be a strike, and I don't know how long it's going to last. If we're going to lose the whole season or whatever, but it is insane, all the hopium out there for the Wrigley All-Star game.
Oh, yeah. No.
I'm sorry. That shit ain't happening. Like, we may get a season, but we're not going to have a fucking All-Star game. It's ridiculous.
I mean, considering the some of the things that are being floated around, like the players must compete in the Olympics and like a salary cap, I'm like, we're nowhere close. We're not close. And I just hope that the players have good representation, because I don't think they have had good representation at some of these in the past. Like Tony Clark was like stuffing the secretary and like all shit was going on. Like I understand the impetus to want to have and the impulse to want to have a player represent the players, but you don't know. Get a lawyer. Get somebody that is shrewd. Get the people that I had to fight to when we were fighting for my apartment. Get that guy who is on their side.
Yeah.
Get the hard ass lawyer that didn't want to give any of the tenants anything to get out to ruin our lives. Anyway, let's talk about some of those front office people that are on the other side. Twinkle D and Twinkle Dumb, because that was some hilarious news that dropped this week when poor Bruce Levine, he sent out a tweet that was meant to be a DM. We could talk about who we think it was to, but he said, he tweeted out, "You and the other coaches have been the stars of the team, being 12 games over 500. Let's hope Twinkle D and Twinkle Dumb don't sell you guys out like the 2025. Enjoy the family time, pal."
Yeah. Wow. Like putting that out on Twitter. Like, first off, you shouldn't be on Twitter. Like, Twitter is a fucking cesspool. No, but the point is, it's his job to be on Twitter, but nobody's fucking really seeing this unless it's something like this. Outside of that, it's just fucking bots. It's just all trolls and bots. It's all garbage.
Yeah. Well, people like me who are like, "Oh shit, Bruce." And, but I felt bad for the guy because he's like old. He's an old beat writer. And I like Bruce Levine. Like, he's good on the radio. He asks good questions. Like, he's kind of a mouthpiece, but he's sort of acerbic. Like, and so I was like, oh, fuck, Bruce. I hope they don't, he works for Marquee, and here he is like calling them Twinkle D and Twinkle Dumb. And first of all, it's Tweedle. It's not Twinkle. So he even fucked that up.
Right.
From Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. I wonder if that was the autocorrect. If he tried to put Tweedle and it just thought, oh, well, you obviously need Twinkle.
mean,
But here's
Twinkle.
the thing.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I don't think. But wait, let's look back at the tweet because I don't think Bruce is using autocorrect. You know what I mean? Like, there's a few. He's got the T. He's got the in there twice. Enjoy the T, the family time, pal. That's
Right, but
literally
I don't know.
what it
Autocorrect isn't going to change that, right? It might tell you that it's wrong or something, but it's not going to change the or T to something else, you know, whereas Tweedle could possibly get switched to Twinkle. I don't know. I have no idea.
says. Yeah, that's at least my worries. Who do you think he was writing to? Craig, John Maley.
I don't know. That's been the question. Like, who's
Tommy
he talking
Hotovy?
to? And here's the thing, dude, you don't have these guys' phone numbers. Like, if you're having this intimate of a conversation with someone,
sometimes you talk
that
to certain
means you're
people on-
friends with them. Why are you doing that? Like, if he meant to DM them, you don't need Twitter. Just fucking text them. Like, that's ridiculous.
I mean, I talked to different people on different platforms depending on how the conversations first got going, which that might have been what happened. I'm just curious who he's talking to. I mean, and it could be the other way around. Like, maybe he's talking about freaking Craig and Tommy Hotovy. And he's actually texting Jed.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's that because of the selling the players out. But I was wondering if
it's got to be Carter and Jed.
Yeah, if one of the Twinkles was was Council. I was kind of wondering, like, that's the only guy in the dugout that one of the Twinkles could be is Council. But I do believe it's probably Carter.
Also, Twinkles is a great elf name, and frankly, Ratface kind of also looks like a Keebler fucking elf. So
yeah,
I did enjoy some of the memes going around. This was sent to me by Joey Wrigleyville Bub, which they dress in the Tweedledee and Tweedledum costumes, and I did enjoy this one. And there was another one. The twinkling twins of Cubs Nation, Twinkledum and Twinkledee.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Such ugly, but perfectly timed AI art.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. AI, I think, should only be used for things like this. You know, this should just be let us make fun of billionaires quickly.
Yeah.
with very accurate art. Because I couldn't make that otherwise without AI.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not going to pay somebody to Photoshop that all afternoon just to make one joke. So,
yeah, if you're fucking around like that, you're not taking any money out of anybody's
the fact it dries up a river,
wallet. But Yumper says he thinks it might be Tom and Jed instead of
I thought
Carter
maybe it'd
and
be
Jed.
Tom, but either way, this whole thing's got to blow over at some point. Like probably tonight. Hopefully it blows out with the smoke.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip 150 years ago because it's all just Little Bighorn. Like, this was the big problem of the summer. They, Custer got his fucking ass kicked, and then they went back for revenge, and now they're revenging and killing people. It's just terrible. So they're trying to get baseball going, and these dudes are fighting in the middle of the prairie.
Yeah, they're faking a Cooperstown thing that never happened. We're talking about the Little Bighorn. Let's not do it.
No. So, but I will tell you about the twins, the Twinkies, who are really, there's really not much to see here with the Twins because they're boring. Like, they are a 500 team. They're 48-49. They're in the White Sox division, which is weak division. The AL is freaking trash. And it shows in their record against the NL. They're only 11-19 versus the National League. They have a negative run differential, but only by 13, which is kind of what you'd think with a team that's 48-49. And Derek Shelton's their manager, who I thought was still playing, apparently not. No, but then I was like, oh, wait, he did manage, but he's a very young manager because he knows how to read the spreadsheets.
Oh, see, Danny, that's where you're getting confused with that CBS show, Young Shelton.
I have no
That's
idea what you're talking about. I am definitely not confused.
People who are listening know that there's a shit show out there called Young Sheldon.
So everybody in the Twins universe is like, are they going to buy? Are they going to sell? You know, the bullpen's not good enough. Like they're just really in the big old heap of mediocre teams that right now exist in Major League Baseball. They are one of them. And they could, you know, if they got hot at the right time, they could even make the stupid playoffs, even though they don't deserve it because they suck.
This is one of the things that, like what you're talking about, that drives me fucking nuts about how baseball is discussed now in just 2 years of this expanded playoff fucking end of season tournament for all the good boys. Like, I hate it. Like, everybody acts like these fucking teams are good, and they aren't. Fucking 4 years ago, we wouldn't even be fucking talking about these goddamn teams. Now they're like, oh, they got a real chance to win the World Series if they can just get in. It's like, no, motherfucker, these people should be at home drinking lemonade with their fucking grandchildren or whatever the fuck they do.
Now, from a standpoint of like giving a fan hope to that they could make the end of season tournament, that does now exist, and it might sell a few tickets down. We're only like 2 games out of the third wild card spot with 2 weeks to go, or that kind of thing.
Fine with that. I get why they do it, right? To keep the interest and keep selling tickets. I'm fine with that. What I'm annoyed by is that everybody is bought into the bullshit. Like, no, just because that's what they're doing and the fucking morons out there are believing them, that's fine. But it's like everyone, like you'll see somebody who's talking and like they like understand a lot about baseball. And then they're fucking buying in completely to the idea that their team is good because they're 2 games over 500 and they have a shot for the playoffs. That's not what good is.
I agree. No, I mean, I don't even think the Cubs are good, and we're fucking 12 games over 500, which is apparently enough for fucking Bruce Levine, because we are under 500 against over 500 teams.
Yeah, and I pointed out a while back, the Cubs are like, they're 2 games over 500 without the anomaly that was the Phillies, right? The Phillies are a good, everybody else that they won, that they beat in those like 2 long winning stretches, like those were not all that great teams. The Phillies are actually a good team, and that is the only part of the season that was bad for them, when the Cubs beat them 7 straight games.
Yeah.
That's an anomaly. And even if you give them 500,
the whole season's been a head scratcher, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a bit
if you give them 500 in those games against the Phillies, then they're like, what? They're 5 games over. They're literally 5 games over 500. But they rattled off some wins, and all of a sudden it's 12, and that looks like a good team if you aren't paying attention to the team.
Yeah. Well, the whole fucking league's like that, except for like a couple outsized winners and a few just absolutely horrible teams. Most everybody else is mediocre, but the Twins might be the most mediocre of the mediocres. They do have Victor Caratini on the team, so that's exciting. They have Roger Clemens' son, Cody, on the team, so you could, I don't know what you want to do with that information, but Josh Bell is on this team. Remember him from being a Pirate for all those years. And
Cubs killer with the Pirates.
That's the one thing to be scared of. But here's one thing about them and why they are in the position they are even in is because they have been super clutch. They have an 820 OPS with runners in scoring position. They're one of the top teams with runners in scoring position. They have a 286 batting average. They're way more clutch than the Cubs. So do that, whatever that means. And then, and they actually have a decent offense. They have a top 10 offense. They got a 738 OPS. The Cubs have a 747. So a little bit of an advantage there. The Cubs have only hit 1 more home run. We're tied with the Braves in that category, which is one of the best teams in baseball. And also the Cubs, they've taken, this is going to surprise nobody, 20 more walks than anybody else in baseball. and that anybody else, the Brewers,
Yeah.
the next team. So the Twins are just average at everything. They're average at walking. They're average at striking out. And both teams are league average at stealing bases, except they get caught a lot. So they're just stupid, basically.
It means you try more and get caught a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. They have their ace is this guy, Joe Ryan. Basically, he's been with the team a while, but there's only 1 year left on his contract next year, like after next year. And so if they do sell, he'd be one of the guys. They've got a few dudes with expiring contracts that they're like, Twins fans are like, maybe we sell, maybe we buy. We could get better, we could get worse.
Wasn't Joe Ryan on the block last year at this time? And nobody went for him because they wanted too much or something?
Well, I'm sure the bots are just recycling articles at this point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, let's write about the Twins, and maybe somebody will click our Viagra ads. I mean, that's really like what the sports writing business is these days.
Well, it's not even as fancy as Viagra. It's Blue Chew. If you can get it at a truck stop, you can click on it on our picture here.
And then they've got an all-time list of names coming out of their bullpen. They've got a guy, a lefty, of course, named Cody Funderbunk.
Nice. Love it.
Funderbunk. So that'll go with your Blue Chew. And then they just pulled a guy up from the St. Paul Saints, the AAA team, who's from Korea. And his name is Woo Suk Go.
Wow, that guy.
Woo Suk Go.
I mean, that got PCA in trouble for saying it. Down at White Sox Park a while back. Yeah.
And they also have one of the Rogers twins, but it's not the cool one that throws underhand.
Oh,
it's the other one.
It's the other Taylor Rogers.
Yeah, Taylor. It's Taylor and Tyler, right?
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah,
they are the same person to
lefty.
me.
And this one's they got the lefty twin that does not throw cool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. They have a worse ERA than the Cubs. The Cubs have a bottom 10 ERA from the overall. It really is the offense have been bailing them out. And then, but they've got a terrible bullpen. Their bullpen is terrible. 5.19 ERA, second worst in baseball. They don't strike out anybody. They walk a lot of guys. It's just terrible a combination. And ours has just been average.
Yeah, it's
all
the
said and done.
They got great stuff, which is great, except for it won't go in the. Yeah. Well, I threw 4 X strikes, and all of them broke outside of the zone. But the 4 X strikes were amazing.
Yeah, don't challenge those because they're balls.
Yeah.
The defense is not good for them. They don't have a good defense. We have the 4th fewest errors at 37. They have 51, which is basically league average.
Well, that's because they don't give errors to players on the Cubs.
Yeah, exactly. Not anymore.
Dansby absolutely had one against the Reds, and so did Nico. And they just fucking changed that shit. Yeah.
But it was hit too hard. The Cubs have the most defensive runs saved at 41. And the Twins are the worst. They have negative 33.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, those defensive runs saved show up on the scoreboard all the time.
Well, they do. We're 12 above 500. And then, and we'd be even better if it wasn't for Twinkle Dumb and Twinkle D.
Yeah.
And then their catchers don't throw out anybody. So Caratini ain't throwing anybody else. I don't even know how much he's catching, but 15% of runners they only throw out, and the Cubs throw out 26% of runners. So it's been just average, pretty okay. Yeah. The games tonight, it's going to be Bailey Ober, who I've never heard of. He's 4.40 ERA against Colin Ray. He's got a 4.75, and he was supposed to be in the bullpen, and he's starting the second half. I guess that's how we're going to line it up.
He's our second best starter, basically.
Yeah, unfortunately. Then we have Taj Bradley, who's probably the toughest guy we're going to face.
Wouldn't you rather see Javier Assad starting?
Yeah, I think he's hurt, isn't he?
Oh, is he hurt now? Fuck.
He was.
Good Lord.
I think he's hurt too. He's not pitching this weekend. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, then he probably is hurt. I don't know. They just
look it up.
pulled him out of.
I just assumed they're all hurt at this point. Like there was.
Know. They had him starting and then they had him not starting, and I didn't know why, but maybe it's an injury situation. Okay,
Yeah,
go on with your stuff, and I'll
right.
look up
He did that too. They had him starting and then not starting, and then I think starting again and then injured. I think. I don't know. Taj Bradley is 9-3 with a 3.59. He's probably the toughest guy we've faced, but he'll face Boyd, who gave up a bunch of runs versus the Reds, but he got into the 7th inning. So, Boyd will give you something. And then the last game, and that's tomorrow when we'll all be hanging out for Crawley's birthday, and also over at Almost Home by 11 a.m. And they have the gate thing.
Hey,
10.
by the way, I do know we're hanging out for Crawley's birthday. Crawley's birthday is actually on the 12th,
it already was. Yeah.
Which was my 23rd wedding anniversary. And the woman that I married, her 50th is on Sunday, the 19th. So when you see
happy birthday.
Yeah, when you see Emily around, I believe she's going to be around after the game, maybe. Say happy birthday.
So, by the way, there is also a Partiful that I made. I'll share that link in a little bit, but you can find it. I've posted about it. Anyway, if you want to meet with us, we're tomorrow's crazy. I think it's going to be hot. There's still like a bunch of smoke in the area, so we're not going to even be able to see each other. I'm kidding. But there's like the gate thing that starts at 10. There's we have to get into the bleachers early if you're going in the bleachers because you won't get a seat otherwise, because it's going to be jam-packed with all the 2016 Cubs rigmarole that's happening. They're singing the stretch. There's going to be some sort of ceremony going on with it and pomp and circumstance. And so we're going to meet at Almost Home at around 11, and then people can just kind of peel off and do what they want there. I see that a lot of the people that were planning on meeting there plan on going to the game as well, but some people not. I don't have a ticket yet. So I kind of have a ticket, but anyway, it's a long story. So I'm going to hang back until I see if there's anybody that wants to hang out and just watch the game in the air conditioning. You know what I mean? Because I might be for that too.
Yeah. So Javier Assad is not injured, by the way.
Oh, okay. Good. He was a little bit.
The only thing that I was able to find, and it's from the 16th, so that's yesterday, said that he's returning to the long man role because possibly Tyone is coming back up.
Exactly, because Tyone had his rehab starts in South Bend. So, but either way, none of them are pitching this weekend. They pitch against Detroit. Oh, sorry, Cubstradamus. I didn't mean to steal your thunder there. They're coming to town. But the last game is going to be Zebby Matthews.
Zebby.
Which is short for Zebulon.
Oh,
and
he's from Utah. 100%. That is a Mormon.
Zebulon is actually his middle name. His first name is Daniel. But hey, if you're got a Zebulon, I think you go by Zebulon. That sounds very Elon Musky, but it's also a biblical name. It was one of Jacob's sons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's Mormon. That's totally a Mormon Zebulon.
And
anyway, at least he went with Zebby instead of like Lonnie. Zebby is way better than Lonnie.
What's Lonnie short for? Lonard?
that's what we called the right fielder for the Indians in the World Series was Lonard or Lonald. Lonald.
So Zebulon has a 4.57 ERA, and he's going against Imanaga. So, and Imanaga only pitched 5 innings last time he went out there against the Reds, who we beat 2-3. So we went on a high note of that first half, and Imanaga was part of that. He only gave up 1 run through 5, but he did give up 7 hits. He just kind of gets the job done.
Yeah.
So I want to wish a happy birthday to Jonathan Evans. He's an awesome guy. We played his wife's birthday party last year, and he's he's a great art collector. He loves bidding on things at the auction. He's just a super great guy. Him and his family have been a big part of what we've been doing for years. He's part of Club 400. He's just always around. Great dude. Love Jonathan Evans. So if you see him, happy birthday to him. It's today. Also, I did want to mention Emily. She's on the list here. Jorge Moreno's on Monday. Brandy
Nice.
Colon. Her birthday is on Tuesday, and Robert Davies' birthday is Wednesday.
Yeah, Brandy, by the way, is Bartolo's illegitimate love child.
That is untrue. And John Baker Day, 7:30. I'll remind you of that. Check out thegamemusical.com. I'm making changes to that all the time. We'll see you all tomorrow. Oh, here's the party full. Let me share that out real quick for you on the chat. It's just a way that we can just kind of keep in touch with each other tomorrow. I figure we have a home base, and hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hashtag chance in the chat. I keep forgetting to say that. Master P. Levy just said that, so thanks for reminding me of that. Vote for Matt Kammerer in St. Louis today as the tattooer of note in the St. Louis area. I have his ink on my shoulder. I want to get some more, but anyway, vote for him. He deserves to win because he's an awesome artist and our friend. Save the date, September 19th, Cincinnati. We're going to hang out there with Billy DeVore and the gang. And now here is the smelliest deity on the planet wearing a brand new bathrobe.
I'm a trumper just like John Voight, so give me people to exploit. The elections are fixed, so I must resist. Watching the Cubs play versus Detroit. Boycott, boycott, boycott.
He's boycotting?
I don't know. Has he been kidnapped? I feel like that was like like he only did that as a proof of life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, last I heard he was on his way to Mar-a-Lago, so it really is quite possible.
It's absolutely, yeah. But yeah, that was a nice new robe that he's got.
Yeah.
Too bad he's missing his chair.
As usual. Too bad what?
He's missing his chair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it did kind of seem like a hostage video.
Yeah,
I would check on him, but I don't care what happens to him.
Exactly. It would honestly be good.
Yeah, exactly. Get him off our hands. He's been hanging out here for like 9 years, and he took that 1 year off. I don't know why. I didn't even ask him because I don't care where he was. I just don't give a shit. I do have a TFC.
I have two.
Okay, so you go first then.
Okay, so my first one. This is about the All-Star game. Breaking. The Chicago Cubs announced today that in preparation for the 2027 Major League Baseball All-Star Game to be held at Wrigley Field, will be draped with black curtains so that no views can interfere with customers and streaming services from various vantage points from outside the viewing. That was a lot of stuff, but yeah, basically just saying the Cubs are already planning to black out the All-Star game so that nobody can see it.
Well, no. So I did you see the fucking stupid home run derby was on Netflix?
Yeah,
we all had it. There was a home run derby, wiffle ball home run derby at Nice Lounge. It's like our friend Matt was in it. Matt Linder, he's like a Twitter guy. I don't know if you know him at all, but he's always around. He's in the neighborhood. Bleacher Jeff was in it, and it was sponsored by Malort. It was sponsored by Maplewood Brewery, and they had teams and stuff, and they just tried to hit dingers with wiffle balls onto the roof of Nice Lounge. It was hilarious.
Nice.
But then
fun.
after that was over, we were trying to watch the actual home run derby, and freaking Nice Lounge doesn't have Netflix. You know what I mean? So there was like 9 of us looking at Crawley's phone sitting on a bench.
Yeah. Oh God.
So yeah, blackouts are going to be a thing.
Did you watch the All-Star game, by the way?
I did. I listened to part of it because Doug Glanville was on with some guy. I don't even know who he was on with, because I like listening to Doug. So
I did not watch it. The American League won again. It's
Yeah, they
insane.
always
This is just every year the American League wins this damn thing. They don't win the World Series every damn year. It's split. Like it's a 50-50 toss up, but the fucking All-Star game every year is just American League.
Yeah. Yeah, it's at least it doesn't count because it's a stupid game.
It is.
So my TFC is just like who the Mets drafted because this is amazing. This guy's name, talk about freaking awesome baseball names. This dude drafted by the Mets, a guy named Zach Crotchfelt. Crotchfelt is his name.
Crotchfelt.
Oh man, I really hope he makes the majors.
Oh, and did you
I'll
see
get
where
him Thursday? I'll become a Mets fan.
Did you see where he went to school and pitched? Troy.
Troy.
So in that Crotchfelt, there has to be a Trojan.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
Trojans.
tried. It didn't land. I tried.
Trojania. Yeah, you got to know your freaking Greek history. You got to know all sorts of things.
Well,
I'm
everybody's
thinking
watching.
Helen of Troy. I'm thinking. Then it reminded me of mayonnaise for some reason because Helen reminds me of Hellman's. I was all over the place with that crack.
No, everybody's talking Greek history now because of the Odyssey.
Oh yeah, it opened today, right?
I don't know. I don't.
So did the second half of the baseball season.
I honestly don't give a shit.
Obviously.
But here is a TFC about the Cubs schedule. The Manfred, and I just love this because how off the rails this dude went about it. The Manfred schedule is an affront to God. Bring back 6 division series each and enough with playing these sorry ass junior circuit teams.
Junior circuit.
Yeah, the junior circuit being the AL. That was their old nickname. So you know what? I'm with them though.
Yeah, I'm with him too. Yeah.
Give a shit. I would rather they don't play the American League at all.
Yeah. And
play the American League, just the White Sox, because they're in the same
in a 1-game exhibition, winner take all, bragging rights for the city, just 1 game. Like, how exciting would that be if they only played 1 game a year and they just switched off which ballpark it was? We don't need to play the White Sox more than that. That was fun when we didn't play them. And you would imagine as a kid, like, what would it be like if you played the White Sox? And then they started doing exhibition games. And then they had to do it for real because everybody liked it. Now it's not special at all. But I will put the schedule up. For
and when it was
small, but
when it was an exhibition game, they could do cool things like let Michael Jordan play the outfield. You can't do that now because it's part of the regular season.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd see your prospects. That's when that's the only time you'd see your prospects, if you even knew who the prospects were, because nobody used to write about them either.
Yeah.
Is the we open versus Cleveland at home at basically with a week to go in March.
In middle of
March. So, and they get away with it so far, but I don't think they will forever. But
there is one good thing for the Sun Ranto show in this, though.
What?
13 weeks. There's an off day on a Thursday. 13 off days are on Thursdays in the next year.
Well, the problem is I will be on stage doing a show for many of those Thursdays. I think we might have to switch to Monday. Yeah, I think that,
and I say it every year. I wish they would just fucking give them a day off. Like every week, there needs
Monday,
to be,
because Thursday's a fun night to go out. Thursday is a good night to go see a ball game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you take Monday off. Like that's the night I don't want to go out. I'm starting the week.
Two 3-game series every week with an off day, so that if you get rained out, there is an easy time to figure out how to make that game up. Like that Toronto game, who knows when we're going to fucking make it up? Late August, because you have to match up the one single day in the rest of the season where both teams have it off.
Yeah. And the funny thing is they already know that this works because they do it in the minors.
Yeah.
They already know. There's really the one other interesting thing maybe is that there's a scheduled doubleheader against San Diego on the road. So I don't know what prompted that, but it's happening. It's a scheduled doubleheader in June.
They were probably counting up all the games, and they're like, "Oh shit! Why do the Cubs only have 161 games?"
And what's weird about it is that they have the next day off, and then they just go straight up the coast to San Francisco.
Right. Well, they have the next day off, but San Diego doesn't. That's the fucking stupid thing. It's like you can't figure these things out.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to get worse because this is all AI now.
Oh yeah. they're gonna play San Diego, then they're gonna go to LA and play a game, then back to San Diego to finish the series.
Yeah, and it'll be the only time it has rained in San Diego in the last 50 years, and there'll actually be a rain out in San Diego somehow, and the whole day will get. And then we got to find some time in September to go back to San Diego on a random Monday
to play a doubleheader.
Exactly, to play a doubleheader. So, yeah, I don't know. There's one trip that I'm looking at, which is that Houston trip in May. It's right by my birthday. So I've never seen Minute Maid or whatever they call it. Enron Field or
Enron
garbage can lid field.
Yep.
hefty field. Do they still have the train? I don't know. I would like to go.
I think they do. Yeah, they don't have the pole though. They don't have that center field pole in the game, like actually playing in the game.
Right. Well, all right. Well, that's the show, I guess. We'll give away that chance, shall we?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. I gotta share my shit. Oh, I'm sharing too many things. Oh no, we're not doing that. Let's see. Hashtag chance in the chat. Make sure you chance away right now, and you could win the postcard sent to you by me with a message of love and doom. And round she goes.
Here it goes.
Where she stops.
There's a lot more names in there than I thought.
Oh, and the winner's Dominic. He deserves it for going around in that terrible weather today.
Oh, it is so damn hot. I have been sitting here just sweating buckets, and Dominic is about 30 miles north of me, maybe not even that far away.
Are you guys getting the smoke too?
We are not getting the smoke. The smoke hasn't been bad, little tiny bit, but it's super hot, and he's out there hiking through that with a bag on his shoulder. Oh, rough.
Yeah, dangerous particles in the air is like 300, and we're at like 700 here in Chicago. So yeah, it smelled like you were sitting in front of a campfire all day yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy. We had that in Colorado one time. You don't want to be out in that. And yet, let's play some baseball.
Yeah, I'm not going tonight, partly for that reason, and partly because tomorrow's just going to be off the chain. I'm going to be down there all day long, and then I have to actually go to a birthday party in the suburbs after we hang out all day.
Oh my God.
So thank God I don't drink anymore, because there's no way that's happening.
No way.
Yeah. It might not happen anyway. I'm going to try. But either way, it's like with the smoke, it just makes you feel logy and tired. So I'm not going to go today. Why take a chance? It was supposed to rain and blow some of it away. It didn't rain. So we'll see what happens.
Andy Wells says they called off the Pirates game.
It might be worse there than it is here. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't seen any news for us, so they still have a couple hours, but it'd be stupid if everybody's already down there. Anyway, There's the show. Should I play 10 years ago SMFBD or Battle of Wrigley'sville Dogs? Because that's what I got in here.
I'm doing SMFDB. That's what I want to see.
Right.
Because
it was
PCA got one of the 2 hits, right? He got half the hits for the National League.
Well, there were 3 hits. He got 1/3 of the hits.
Oh, okay.
I think there were 3. But it was a boring game. NL sucked, but they're the better league.
Yep.
All right, SMFBD. Let's go second half. Hey, we got 69 viewers right now, so I think that's a perfect time to get out of here. So, Spagog.
SMFTB, SMFTB. Truck stop funky chip mix. SMFTB, SMFTB, SMFTB.
funky chip mix, SMFTB. Saint Toothless Cardinals fans, SMFTB. Krabby Karens in the stands, SMFTB. When the Brewers fans are here, SMFTB. Cheeseheads getting drunk on beer, SMFTB. Pirates fans will walk the plank, SMFTB. In a stadium named for a bank, SMFTB. Rooters of the shitty Reds, SMFTB. Stuffing chili in their heads, SMFTB. Fans of the White Sox suck, SMFTB. Fuck everyone but the Cubs, SMFTB. 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 Truck Stop Funky Chip Mix, SMFTB. 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 Truck Stop Funky Chip Mix, SMFTB.